this is Srimati, the Inner Wisdom Coach, and I'm here with Bill Tucker at the Arcturus Clinic in Totnes. And we're here to chat and share our ideas and inspiration. And I'm particularly interested to know about Bill. He's just recently arrived in the area and we've become good friends. And he does some fascinating work, so I'm here to ask about it. So, Bill, what is it that you do?
Well, I work with people to help them resolve trauma. And the traumas can be small traumas, they can be large traumas, they can be... and the very word trauma, people think of trauma as being involved in a major car accident or something. But we have traumas all the way through our life, right from young childhood, and the young childhood traumas affect us a massive amount because we have to feel safe as children, as human beings. So I help people go back and find these traumas and resolve them as gently as possible.
Would you say it's the case that most people don't really even know they're carrying these traumas?
Sure. And the symptoms that people present tell me, obviously I work from a German new medicine perspective, so the symptoms they actually carry tell me the types of traumas I'm looking for.
German New Medicine. So what is German New Medicine?
It's a diagnostic tool for that was developed by a genius of a German doctor who developed testicular cancer a few months after his son Dirk was shot, and he realised that there had to be a connection between the mind and the body and the psyche and the spirit, and being a doctor and a scientist, then he was actually working as an internist of an oncology department of an ovarian cancer clinic in Munich in Germany, and he interviewed all the women at length there, because all he had to go on initially was, have you lost someone suddenly and unexpectedly? And the key word is always sudden and unexpected, something that just comes out of the blue. And every single woman in that ovarian cancer clinic had lost someone very dear to them, maybe in the last year or two. And so he started taking brain CT scans, and that's all he had to go on at the time. And that was his only diagnostic tool, the fact that everyone had a loss. And he called it a profound loss conflict. That was unexpected and sudden, out of the blue. And when he was taking the brain CT scans, he was shocked to discover that there was a minuscule little marking in a specific part of the brain, a specific brain relay in every single woman. And he thought, wow, is every organ in the body mapped out, and every part of the body mapped out, and is the brain the master controller?
So that's part of what you do with German New Medicine. You use that knowledge, that mapping, to identify where, when, how the trauma occurred, and then you work with clients to resolve that?
Yeah, totally.
And how do you work with clients? How do you resolve, having diagnosed the trauma, how do you help them resolve that?
Some traumas, obviously the subconscious mind protects us from reliving all these past traumas. Otherwise we'd be walking out the door going, we couldn't cope, we couldn't deal with it. And so the subconscious mind is fantastic at protecting us from reliving all these traumas, and it keeps a lid on them until such time as it's time to deal with them.
Right.
And so...
How do they manifest then? How do the
So
traumas...
either it's physical symptoms or psychosis, depression, manic depression, anxiety.
So emotional or physical symptoms show up in your life, or what about accidents and life events? Do they have do accidents and things occur related to past traumas, or is that incidental?
Well, we have to take energy into the equation.
Yeah.
And even Einstein said all we are is energy. And the energy precedes everything that happens in life.
Yeah.
So if we're carrying these traumas at a subconscious and energetic level, then that's preceding us. I'll tell you a very, very, very quick story of a lady I worked with who was a therapist, and she couldn't move her arm above there, and was in a lot of pain. So we worked on the trauma, because the body talks to us, and it doesn't affect one part of the body just by accident. That's crazy. That's archaic thinking. So the body and her hand was like that. Now to me that's a protection. That's protection. So we went back through all these traumas. The first trauma was the most recent one, where a truck had been coming to the side of a car, and she put her hand up. So we cleared that. We used EFT for that,
Right.
which is fantastic for these sort of things that are stored in the energy system for these traumas. So the second one before that was 3 years before, in the car, almost identical place, almost identical type of truck coming from the side, and just hit her car, but not too much damage. So we did some more EFT. She moved her arm a bit higher up, but still not there. More to deal with. So then we went further back, and there was another trauma when she was 13 years old, 12 or 13 I think. She was in the swimming pool where, as kids do, they were trying to push her under the water, and she wasn't a good swimmer. So she was hanging onto the side of the pool with her arm, and that's what she was doing. And the last moment before she got pushed under the water was that movement. And so we did some more EFT for that, just tapping the acupuncture points, and then the arm went up a bit higher and a bit less pain, so more to be done. So back to the earliest trauma, which was when she was 3.5 years old, and she was away on holiday to Spain for the first time with her family, and that's a massive thing, you know, to be abroad for the first time and in this apartment. And of course she's really excited, like Christmas morning, the little girl waking up, and she looks down out the window and there's a swimming pool, and she went, wow, you know, big adventure. And she grabbed her younger brother and took him by the hand down there, because her mum and dad were still sleeping. Obviously they'd been out the night before and they were having their own fun. And she got to the swimming pool and she stood beside the swimming pool, and this little girl ran along in front of her and jumped in the pool. Didn't realise the pool was so deep. So this little girl's drowning in front of her.
Right.
So what was the action she did? She went like that to cover her own eyes and to
Right.
cover her brother's eyes.
Ah, right. Yes.
Cleared that up
Yes.
instantly. Her arm shot up to the
Right.
ceiling.
Right.
No pain.
Okay.
Yeah. Thankfully a man came across and saved the girl.
Yeah.
But that trauma stuck in there.
And repeated.
And energetically,
Right.
the body's going to, get us into a situation with that. So it's really important to clear up past traumas.
Yes. Yes.
So we can stop these things happening. So that's just one perfect example of how the body holds on to the trauma. And there's so many great doctors in the world, like Dr. Robert Scare and Peter Levine and Pat Ogden and all these sort of guys, all these people that work in a somatic way through the body, through the energy field, to release these trapped traumas. And there's many ways to do it. And this is just a method that I use.
And you mentioned EFT, and you indicated it was to do with tapping on acupressure
Yeah.
points. So do you work with both German New Medicine and EFT when you sit down with your clients?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's enough just to find the trauma that's connected to the physical symptom, and for the subconscious, and to bring it into conscious awareness, sometimes that's enough for the body to let it go.
Right.
And there's other times where I'll use EFT, and there may be many tracks and triggers, like memories in different places where we get back in the same environment, the same area, same type of people, the sound of someone's voice, the look that someone gave us, or the smell, and all these sort of senses. Our body's talking to us. Our body has to keep us safe at all times. And other times with really old traumas, especially abuse traumas or different things that are affecting certain parts of the body, then I won't use EFT because it's too dangerous, because it puts, as part of the healing process, it just puts your clients into a dangerous situation. And this is something I really want to help other therapists understand,
Right.
for the benefit of all.
So you've got an interest in teaching and sharing these methods with other therapists?
Oh, massively.
Right,
Massively.
so
That's what I'm
that's-
so passionate about.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't, as a therapist myself, I didn't understand this knowledge or know the contraindications of clearing up early traumas. And for me, German New Medicine is not a therapy per se. And my passion is really to work with other therapists. So when, say for instance, a body worker, a massage therapist is working with someone for a physical pain in the shoulder, for instance, is to understand what the shoulder is from a German New Medicine perspective, what sort of traumas could be linked into there.
Right, specifically.
So they can, while they're working on the body, they can be asking the questions.
So do you have an idea of what you want to do with your German New Medicine? What's your vision?
Well, my vision totally is because there's very little in the UK, and it's to bring it, to the UK, and to spread the information so it can help therapists and clients and everyone else.